What's up, everybody? Hope you had a good weekend and are having a good Sunday. So Haroon on Twitter, hope I'm saying your name right, tagged me in an article that he suggested would be a good video topic. So thank you for the suggestion. And this article is discussing Shazam, and I mentioned in my last video that a lot of stuff has been coming out about Shazam lately since they are about to start filming. We've been getting a lot of casting confirmations and announcements, and so yeah. Of course, as the year goes on, we'll get even more stuff, images, promotions, set pictures, all that kind of stuff, plot details. And it does come out April 5th of 2019, so a little over a year away. This article was discussing, it just pointed out some comments that the director, David F. Sandberg, made concerning the humor of the film. I guess some people on Reddit were talking about it, and he chimed in, and he tends to do that a lot, which is pretty cool. On Twitter, Instagram, he always has like these wise little comments and comebacks and stuff that he shares with people. So it's pretty cool that he's involved and he sees, he's obviously aware of the fans and how, their discussions and stuff that they have about these films. So I'm going to read what he said in regards to the humor, because they had said when they kind of announced the Shazam movie that it's going to be the lightest of all the DC films. And that kind of makes sense in a way because of the character and the context. He is a kid, Billy Batson, so even though you want some weight to the movie, you have to have these funny moments because he's a kid, and then when he turns into Shazam, he's in a man's body, a superhero man's body with these powers. So you have to have moments that are naturally funny. But sorry, excuse me. This is what he said. I think it's very funny, but the humor comes more from the situations rather than quippy one-liners. And then in parentheses, for people who read too much into things, that's not intended as a dig at Marvel or anyone in particular. Quippy one-liners can be great. The important thing for me is to mix the funny with a threat that is serious and to also have dramatic moments. All funny all the time takes the weight out of it. So that's a pretty important, that's a good comment to make, because there's nothing wrong with funny and humor, nothing like that. As I've said many times in videos, with these movies, it's just about it being appropriate and, depending on the timing and the situation that you're in, a joke is not always, or humor is not always necessary, can take you out of the movie, like he mentioned. It can take away from the seriousness of it, especially when you do have a good threat, a good villain, So I'm glad that he made those comments, because it seems like he understands what people want in this superhero movie. And so that's a good thing from a director, that we know that he looks like he has a good idea of how to keep it balanced. And like he said, he's not trying to, give these incognito jabs at Marvel or at any particular movie. He's just mentioning that it's important for it to be balanced in the seriousness and the humor of it. And like he said, it's going to come more from the situations rather than just certain lines, which, like I said, makes sense because Billy Batson is a kid. And so if he's in this man's body, superhero body, there's going to be funny moments just because of his character. Just like there are in the animated shows and movies with Shazam, there's funny moments that are naturally funny because he's a child, and so it makes sense for it to be that way, which I think Zachary Levi, who's playing Shazam, will probably do a pretty good job of that because he is funny. He's funny. And so I think he'll do a good job in the role. And then, of course, we have Asher Angel playing Billy Batson as a child. He's a young, I'm not going to say a child. He's a young kid. He's like a young teenager. So I am excited about this movie. And then, as I mentioned in my previous video, Ron Cephas Jones, if you're familiar with him, is possibly going to play the Wizard. And I think that would be a great casting choice. He has a really cool voice for something like that, for that kind of role. He looks the part. He's a good actor. He's a great actor. And I think that would be a good casting choice. They've made some pretty good casting choices so far in this film, in the DCU in general. So I wouldn't doubt that he would be great for that role as well. And of course, Mark Strong as Dr. Sivana, which I've also covered in previous videos. He confirmed that as well. So if you're interested to see what he said about playing that character, you can head to my channel and watch that video. I think he's going to do great as a villain, as I mentioned in that video, and he mentions as well. He played Sinestro in Green Lantern, which was he was like on the verge of being a villain in that movie, and then at the end here you can tell that in the second one that we never got, he was supposed to be like a full-blown villain. And I think he's going to do great as a villain, since he didn't get to fulfill that completely in Green Lantern. He'll have the chance to do that in this movie, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And he goes into more detail about like his character, the details of his character in that video. I read the quotes from him and everything, if you're interested in that. And not too much else going on right now as far as I'm aware in the DC superhero world, as far as, you know, stuff that's worthy of making a video about. But like I said, this was I was tagged in this article as a video suggestion, and so, you know, like I said, please drop links in the comments. Tag me on Twitter if you follow me on Twitter, and stuff that you think would make a good topic for a video, because sometimes this stuff is a little, you know, there's not much stuff to talk about sometimes, and so I'm always happy to get suggestions from you guys, or suggest throwback video reviews, or, you know, topics that you want my opinion on, anything like that. So thanks always, guys, for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the links in the description, and we'll see you guys next time.